So here we have the front differential off that Wolf. We're going to inspect it again just before we strip it down. We're going to have a look at how much backlash is in it. Have a look at this. I'm not going to put my gauge on it, but you should be able to see the movement. That's it. That's all there is. Alright, so next thing, so we're going to put a little bit of marking compound on the teeth. You could use engineer's blue if you wish, but we're going to see what the pattern's like. You don't have to do it all. We'll do another one just in case, eh? And just a nice even coat, that's all. Right. Now I'll tell you something about this diff in a minute, but once we've done this, well, let's get it into mesh. Perhaps you can hear already. Oh, that's nice. You see that? That's a nice pattern. We'll turn it around and see what's like at the other side. To see both sides of those teeth. There you go. So that's it. So not a bad contact pattern. Now, what I was perturbed about was it. Listen. It's not the teeth. There's something clunky. I'm not sure what it is. There, did you hear it? Could be here. Right, so all we've got to do is have a look at it. Now, I did get a punch out. Ah, there it is. I'm going to punch the caps before we start. So we'll put a punch in there. And on this side we'll put 2 punches. As I said to you before, we mustn't mix those caps up. We mustn't do that. So next thing, I'm going to find a socket and we'll take this off, take this out the bench, take this out and put it on the bench, just the same as the other one, and then we'll have a look and taking the pinion out to find out where that noisy bit was. Alrighty, so we'll check the height of the pinion on this and we'll make a note of it before we take it out. So I've got to rearrange this in the vise. Now I tapped out the holes in the bottom, these old Rover axles, a 5/16 BSF. Very fine thread, they're not UNF. But now I can use this tool here and we can put our height gauge across the top and work out the pinion height. There's a little bit of thread sticking out the top. That's ever so much. Not much. Let's try that again. This is our datum. We know that's flat. And there's no raised bits on the pinion. $7,592. $7,590. That's good enough for us, so that's what we're aiming for, to put it back as standard. So we'll turn that off. We'll put those back in the box of precious things. Now we can take this plate off just for a minute. I just made that out of some little bits and pieces. I put a little stop there so it doesn't fall on the floor when you put it vertical. I wish I could do that with the other one, but I haven't got the tappings in underneath. Yeah, it's got a, what's that there? 15mm. I don't think I'll be able to get that off just for the gun. Calls me a liar. That dropped out really nice, didn't it? Bloody hell. Oh, and that came off. Flange is nice. The oil seal's a bit naughty. There's already a little spacer's tube that goes in here between the flange and the bearing. But the seal is somewhat reluctant to come out. If in doubt, get the big adjuster out. There we go. Bearings on the floor and everything. Good job we've got a new seal. So what's this? Why was it making a noise? It's hard to say now because it's fallen in all muck on the floor. Oh, there's the shim. There's the shim, that's what we want. So this should be kind of a simple type of a job. We'll knock the bearing races out, clean them up and see what was wrong with them. I cleaned up the surface in here where the oil seal goes because I just put a little nick in there with the hooky tool to pull the seal out, so I got rid of that. So that's not in the way. And I took the rust out. Then I got the chamfer lead-in is nice and clean. Now I'm not bothered about cleaning that. I've got the thick of the dirt out. But what we're going to do now is put it back into the vise, wherever the vise is here. Because now it's time to drill and tap this. Now I did describe it once before, but we might as well do it now again till you get it right. So the position of the pipe fitting is here. Alright, just here. What we're going to do first of all, we're going to punch it. And that is a very thin piece of metal. Now on the P38 it was extremely thick. So we're going to punch it first. Like that. And we're going to use our pilot drill to drill a hole in it first. And get it as square to that face as we can. We don't really need lubricant on it, but we'll just put a bit on. Now it's in a recess just in case. And we're through. So, now we need our drill gauge just in case we get this wrong. The size is 7/16 to save us a lot of time in doing it again, but I'm just going to go through it now with a drill slightly less than 7/16. Yeah, that one is, what's that one? 25/64. God, that drill's sharp. I'll have to hand that into NATO, it's that sharp. You see what I mean? It's when they bite, eh? There we go. That's why you don't want to drill it with your proper size drill first. We're in. Took a bit of doing, but we're there. Now, we want the tap. The pipe fitting is quarter BSP. Don't get it confused with quarter national pipe thread, American one, because there's one thread difference. Oh, no, for a note here, 7/16 is 11.10 millimetres, or thereabouts. Ah, yeah, national pipe thread, which is American, is 18 threads per inch, and British pipe thread, British standard pipe, is 19, so don't get that mixed up. No, this isn't all that deep. No, it's not all that deep a hole. But the other day I found out that that was extremely difficult to tap because the tap wrench, which has disappeared. So your tap wrench, when you put your tap on, this is a very short tap, and what happens is you're going to hit the nose of the diff. That's not good. Now I can turn it back a bit. It's got 4 flutes on it. Flutes are the little cutaways underneath, and so you just need to turn it just a little bit, turn it a quarter of a turn, then back again. Now this is a difficult one to turn because this is on a radius, so you want to try and get it as square as possible, but I think we'll manage. Yeah, we're away now. We're away with the fairies. There we go. Now, the story about this one is that we have got a set of bearings. Again, we've got a Timken one for the front pinion, but we haven't got one for the back pinion. We've got a Chinese bloody oil makes one, and I'm not really keen on fitting that. I don't like, because I don't want to be messing about shimming it up if all possible. Now you don't want to go all the way through. You only want to go through a few threads through. But you can see it's a right sort of mess about. Because if you've got a tap wrench up like mine, this is the adjuster one, and this one's the handle, and the handle always comes out for some reason. Yeah, just be patient. Like I say, if we had if I was doing these all the time, I'd make an extension and bring it right out here so you can get into it a bit better. This is what would be an apprentice's job. So what I'll be doing after this, I've got to go downtown. I'll put this in the parts washer. I'll take off the crown wheel, put these, put that in the parts washer, and then we can get it all cleaned up for tomorrow. But until we get that pinion bearing, we're stuck. I'll show you in a minute when I've got this done. This is, what do they call it, malleable cast iron. It's not steel, that's what makes it difficult to weld. Oh, it's starting to come through now. Yeah, it's just flush at the end. So we'll take that out. Give it a good clean out and let it dry. But first of all, we'll try our pipe fitting in. It took me a bit of working out how these go together, because, like I say, it wasn't very clear how they go together. But I've sort of since worked it out. When we assemble this, I'll show you a bit better. But that now should go into here, like that, you see, that will go into there, and then the pipe comes from the back and it comes through this union. There's a little o-ring that goes in here, but like I say, I'll do that later. But once we've got this in, we know that thread's going to go. We'll put some green Loctite thread retainer on there. It'll act as an oil seal and stop it coming out. But for now, we're going to call it a day. You don't need to see me taking the crown rail off, because that's an out. And we'll wash all these bits up. Just before we go, this is the Chinese bearing from All Makes. The number is different for that one. Yeah. There's something bizarre, because it looks the same, but this one has got smaller rollers and there's 20 of them, whereas on the Timken they're bigger rollers and there's only 18. And just to prove this point, you can't mix and match them up, because there's the one from the, what's that one? That's the Chinese one. It don't fit. And likewise, it don't fit on there, look. Oh no, it does fit on there, because that's the Chinese one. That one fits on there, but this one don't fit on there. Alright, so you can't mix and match them up. Is it going to be any good? I don't know. But we've seen that's out. I'm not sure about the height, and that's what we're concerned about, so we're going to put Timkins back on.